every day. Got a lot of water flowing through here. It's all very fresh, very clean water. The fish there at the dock are rainbow trout, and those fish can only live in really fresh and clean water. In front of us, we have what looks like an eagle's wing. There you can see the stone feathers. Now, as we're exploring throughout this cave, we may get dripped on. Not to worry, it's known as a cave kiss, and some say it's good luck. Out in front of us, we have this white coloration. The white color is calcite. Calcite's a mineral, so there we have calcite deposits. We also have this rust-looking color here. The rust color is iron deposits. We have lots of calcite and lots of iron throughout this cave. To our left-hand side, the Statue of Liberty. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Penn's Cave.
Oh my god, nice.
Now, originally, Penn's Cave would have been submerged underwater, so everything here would have been underwater. Now, eventually, this water level would have drained down, causing some oxygen to flow in the cave. The oxygen would cause currents with the water. These water currents would help erode and carve out the cave into the shape we're checking out here today. Nowadays, when it rains, the water droplets will soak into the ground. These droplets will go through tunnels underground, gathering up minerals. Once these droplets will then get to this section of the cave, right here where the oxygen is, the water droplets will off-gas. So what this means, there's minerals that were once inside the ground that are now being left behind in the cave. It drips from the ceiling, the walls, hits the floor. Those minerals are being deposited, causing the formations in the cave to grow. Right above us, we have some stalactites. They hang tight to the top. The opposite of a stalactite would be a stalagmite, and they might reach the ceiling someday. Now, when the two grow together, they'll form a formation known as a column. We have a few columns right over here in this wall. And all these formations we're checking out right here are nicknamed the Garden of the Gods. Alright folks, so actually to start off with Penn's Cave is made out of limestone. Now limestone is a sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rocks, they're normally found at the bottom of the ocean. During the Alleghanian orogeny, the tectonic plates would shift. North America would slam into Africa, form Pangaea, the supercontinent. Now during this time, those tectonic plates would shift, causing some of that ocean bottom to then shift upward. Right out in front of us, we believe we have some ocean bottom that shifted upward. If you look right here where my light's at, you'll notice some very faint ripple marks. So there you can kind of check out those ripples. You'll notice these ripples go from right here all the way up to about here. Now we also have cracks in the bedrock, and this could have been caused by this tectonic plate shifting. Now, if we take a moment to look right above us in this crevice, you'll start to see a gold color. And the gold color is fool's gold, scientific name pyrite. Miners would find this mineral, think it was real gold, try to sell it, realize they were fools for not knowing it wasn't real gold. Now, if we get to the fool's gold here, we might be able to check this out right over here. And if we get to that fool's gold there, well, I'm sure we can check it out up at the gift shop. Now, in a few moments, guys, we are going to head over to this next room. And the next room is known as the dry room. As we can see, not a lot of dripping, not too many formations. Before we can get over to this room, we have to go past the Rock of Gibraltar here, travel through the Straits of Gibraltar right there. Now, Gibraltar is an island near Spain. It's full of monkeys, but no monkeying around as we go through here. Now, you might need to duck, or you might quack those heads. Yeah, that was a foul joke. But before we get moving, guys, do you have any questions, comments, or pun complaints? Off to a good start. Okay, well, in all seriousness, as we're going to venture our way over to this next room, we are going to go into this tight squeeze. You're on the right-hand side of the boat. You will want to watch those heads and most likely duck. We're going to be taking this pretty slow, but I will point out we're going to watch those heads at. And we definitely want to keep all body parts inside of the boat. With these longer boats, we do tend to bump a little bit going through the tight squeeze up here. Okay, so as we're venturing through, watch your heads over here on the right-hand side. And again, we may feel a bump or two, so definitely keep those hands inside the boat for me. All right, folks, here we are in the dry room. Looking around, you'll see there's not a lot of dripping, not too many formations. During the Ice Age, water would get stuck in between the cracks of the rock and the ceiling we see here today. This would freeze, expand, causing those rocks that were once on the ceiling here to then fall to the floor. Nowadays, Penn's Cave is going to stay right around 52 degrees year-round. That means there's no freezing activity in the cave. We also don't have to worry about anything falling down anymore. Now, since it doesn't freeze in the cave, not much really happens in this room. But if we were to travel closer to about 100 feet back into this room, we would find a vertical shaft entrance. Now, if you want to check out this entrance, all you have to do is go out to the parking lot. So out where your vehicles are parked, there's a soda machine. Behind that soda machine, there's a big dip. And down that dip is a fenced-in area. Now, after the tour, you guys are welcome to walk all the way down there and check out this entrance. But imagine a 70-year-old man. His name was James Martin. He decided one day to be brave, come down in the cave right around 1795. Now, he had climbed down through this entrance into this room here, being the first man to officially discover Penn's Cave. When James came down into this room, though, he discovered a fire pit with arrowheads inside, showing that Native Americans could have used this for shelter. The animals would have done the same. Now, James also found 2 mountain lion skulls down here in the cave. Speaking of mountain lions, we have this formation right here that kind of resembles the Penn State Nittany lion. To the right of this formation, we have this rock that's lit up over here. It kind of looks like an owl hanging out behind these rocks. And to our left, we have this formation. Kind of looks like Jabba the Hutt from Star Wars. Now, let's jump to 1865. Right around 1865, there was a man named Isaac Paxton. He had also traveled through the same entrance into this same room, noticed all of this water, decided to get a paddle boat, get a torch, and explore through the cave. After a little bit of exploring, he realized there was a great big entrance that we all went through, making it a lot easier getting supplies back and forth. So we decided to use that entrance. Once he was done exploring throughout the cave, he then went back to town to tell people about his adventure. The people he told got excited, wanted to check out the cave too. He started his own private tours going back and forth throughout the cave. The business kept growing. Right around 1885, Penn's Cave was officially commercialized. Now, at this time, guests could show up with their horse and buggies. They would spend the night in a hotel building up in the parking lot. The next morning, they could take a cave tour. Well, guys, in the early years of the cave cave tour, the tour guides would head around this turn. They go up to this formation hanging off to our left right here. That one right there. They go up to that formation, they'd hit it with a stick. That would cause it to ring and then break. After about 2 years of doing this, they decided to help protect, preserve that formation, keep it around for future generations. So in a little bit, there should be a boat coming back through, so we're going to tuck ourselves over to the side here. We'll let this boat get by us, and then we'll head right around that turn, check out that formation. But while we are sitting here, do you guys have any questions? Good. We'll hang out here for a few seconds then. This boat should be working its way through any second then. Now in this room, since we do have that extra entrance over here, we do tend to have a family of squirrels that'll come down into the cave. They'll usually kind of hang out in here, cool off on the hot days, warm up on those cold days. They'll just kind of go back and forth. Now, a lot of people usually will ask me how deep the water is. So throughout the cave, the water isn't very deep at all. It's actually about 3 to 5 feet deep. From the Eagle's window to the dock, right there we're in more of a deeper hole. That's closer to about 16 to 18 feet deep. The reason it is so much deeper there is because of that spring. With all that constant current flowing through, it's pushing a lot of that sand and silt from the entrance throughout the rest of the cave, making this much shallower and that a lot deeper. Hey Marty, can you get the lights for me? Thank you. We'll kind of work our way towards the center of this room. Once we're in the center, I'll put our anchor line back down. Now, we actually strap an anchor to all the boats. Currently, we're actually going reverse throughout the cave, but it does help us stay stopped as we're talking about different parts of the cave, but it also helps out with the steering, especially if we're going around a turn like this. So you definitely could hear our feet bump a little bit as we were first pulling out of that area. If we went around this turn without our anchor line down, the end of our boat would pretty much smack into everything over here, just drag right alongside this. But as we're going around, we'll get a really close view of this chime formation. We'll be able to see this has been busted off, broken up. Now with this formation, this has stopped actively growing, the portion we're checking out here, but the section right here close to the wall is actively growing. We are hoping within the next few hundred years that this will start to kind of restore itself, causing that formation to more or less start growing again and just restore all over. It's going to take a long time for something like that to happen though. On average, it takes about 400 years for a formation in this cave to grow about 1 inch. It takes a very long time. This section of the cave here is where the bats come in. They'll latch themselves to the ceilings, the walls, climb into crevices, and they go to sleep for hibernation. During their hibernation period, their heartbeat only beats about 6 times a minute. They're pretty much in a